name's Mike Cunningham from Cleveland, Ohio. Born and raised, lived in New Jersey about 8 years, then I came back to Cleveland. I got a job in insurance, where I had to go out and inspect. I was the field inspector for all these little businesses. And when you start, they give you the simplest ones like shoe stores, pizza places, and bars and restaurants. So, and that was in New Jersey. So, my friends from the railroad, we all quit within a year or two and got different jobs. But we were all from Ohio, so we rented a house together. It was near Paterson, New Jersey, and we had no furniture. It was a 2-story house. The bedrooms were up. So we turned the whole first floor into a bar. That was our idea of furniture. So we thought, some beer signs. So I met my wife when I went to the Oktoberfest in Munich, Germany. She was working for the Social Security Administration. And she lived in Wilkes-Barre, PA, which was a little over an hour from where I lived in northern Jersey. So we visited back and forth a lot before we ever got married. And then Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area, Allentown, some other towns around there. They were big into breweries. So we had friends also who would come and drink beer if we had a party. Anyway, I'm collecting beer signs to hang all over the house. And then friends are finding some for me. So that was the beginning of my collection. So some people moved in and out of the house over time, and they just plain left. Most of the signs were mine, or somebody gave them to me. I had one friend from Findlay, Ohio, got something from his dad, and he just gave it to me. Anyway, after so many years, everybody left, and I got a job offer to move back to Cleveland. So I had maybe 50 beer signs, of which today I maybe have 5 of them left, because they were kind of junky and cheap. And for some reason, I always kind of stayed with the smaller signs, which most of them are TOCs, but I have cardboard signs, and I have some, I think, that are even paper. But I don't know, most of them, it's probably mostly, there's glass signs too, reverse on glass they call them. Mm-hmm. I ended up with quite a few of those. Those things just look sharp when they're in good condition. So I ended up with a lot of those. And then I started trying to specialize in getting more Cleveland stuff, or at least Ohio. And I thought, maybe I should specialize since my wife's from PA. We'll just buy Ohio and PA stuff. But then, I don't know, we took a couple trips out to Oregon, California, New Mexico, Colorado, and a bunch of pretty cool beer signs from there. So I just kept acquiring and hanging them up. If it was really nice or really rare, I just thought that was a pretty cool thing. It's not like having a race car or a boat where you just got to spend more money every single year. I mean, I never ever thought of it for making money, but I guess I could have now if I wanted to sell some. So it was just fun. I mean, it was a reason to take a vacation someplace for the national conventions. That was always nice. You could go early and do something or see things. Well, I liked small because I didn't own a bar or a huge building or a garage. And I started just trying to fill up a house that we turned into a bar, me and some friends. So you've got more room for more different things. They were easier to carry around and find. And when I started, they were kind of affordable. I remember when I first would go to the shows, I'd see piles of trays. People would have 10, 20, 30 trays just piled up, and they were like $5 a piece or 3. People were getting out of the tray thing for some reason. And they were maybe a little beat up or not, but I'd go through them and I'd see names of all kinds of breweries and beers that I've never heard of. But then if I saw a tin over cardboard, I thought, well, that looks a lot. I didn't like the look of the trays, even though they were cheap and there's all over the place. That might not be true today. But once I started and I started collecting them, I just kept going. I kind of like the idea of history, all the different cities and breweries, the Germans moving around the country and where they went and why, and all the jobs. and the farming and the malts, and using horses and wagons to deliver a beer. And then they invented cars and trucks, and then that delivered beer. Supposedly the first paved roads were in Boston, just so beer could be delivered, so the wagons wouldn't get stuck in the mud. So there's a lot of different avenues that make it interesting. Meeting all the different people is pretty cool too. There's an awful lot of nice people. I mean, there's people I see only once or twice a year, but they're kind of like good friends. Well, I have one that my mom bought me, so, and on the back she said, "Good luck collecting, Mike." So that one's pretty special. And then I have one that my dad bought me once from the Detroit brewery. He was big into working on cars and different cars, so that would have meant a lot. Yes, for some reason I've never limited myself to just Cleveland, Ohio. I guess I was just always interested in the whole country and the whole brewing thing and what's going on, and interesting and similarities. And it's kind of cool once in a while to see a beer and who made that and where was that. And then you get into the rarity. There was a lot of breweries tried to open up after Prohibition, but they only made it 4, 5, 6 years. And then the war came and they got limited on materials and they were out of business. So there's some pretty rare signs from the 30s. Like I have 3 or 4 upstairs. I think they're all Michigan. They only operated like 1 year, 1934.